Welcome back, double leg premium members. It is time for the exclusive show for UFC London, where we go through all of our bets and give you a little bit of insight why we chose them and get yourself some confidence in these bets. So, without any further ado, we don't want to waste any of your time. Let's get into it with the main event. What do you got?
Main event, I've just got Tom Aspinall in a parlay, and I'll just go ahead and list it out. I got Aspinall, Molly McCann, and Muradov, three-leg parlay plus 135 for three-quarters of a unit. I don't see all three of those guys losing, or girls. I think Aspinall takes care of business. He's faster, stronger, better wherever this fight goes. Molly, I think she finds the KO, and Muradov, man, he could destroy Barbarina. So I think those three are solid. I had to run with it. That's all I got, though. I couldn't decide if it was going to be a knockout or submission. I think it could be either way, so I laid off everything else, but that's all I got.
Those are going to be super popular parlays for
Oh,
tomorrow.
yeah.
And I hope it all pans out because I'm on it as well. I got a parlay with Tom Aspinall and Murdoch at minus 150 for 2 units. And then I got a parlay with Aspinall and Molly McCann at minus 119 for 1.19 units to get one back. So 2 parlays there. I didn't want to go the 3-leg route. I just went one with both of them. Aspinall being the anchor there. I think he wins this fight like 9 times out of 10. I don't see any way that he loses other than getting injured. And I also think he gets it done in the first round because he usually gets to work, and 11 of his 12 wins have come in the first round. So I got him in. I got Aspinall in round 1 at even money, just for 0.4 units. Just in case he doesn't, because they're only getting even money. I didn't want to go too hard on that first round prop, but I do think it was worth taking a stab at. And then I took him round 1 sub plus 525 for 0.2 units because I think everyone's going to be on the KO. They look at Tybura's never been subbed, and he's been knocked out 4 times. Tom Aspinall got great submissions, and the price was just way too good to pass up. I had to take it plus 525. And if you notice, Tybura looks a little bit slimmer. Might be easier to get the arm under the neck, so I'll take him in that aspect as well. That's actually, I have another parlay, not with a money line, but the under 1.5. I got that paired with the under 2.5 in the Danny Roberts and Johnny Parsons fight. That's at plus 155 for a unit. I liked both of those unders. I think Aspinall gets it done definitely within 7.5 minutes. And the under 2.5 in the Roberts Parsons fight is like both guys can get knocked out. Both guys can get knockouts. Both guys are not like super durable. I just think under 2.5 is too good to pass up. And definitely worth a solid parlay there at plus 155. I think that's pretty good value because I see these getting finished pretty early. Co-main event, Molly McCann, Yulia Stoliarenko. You just went through the parlays with her, and so did I. But you got anything else?
I got nothing else, man. I honestly hate this fight. I was willing to put Molly in a parlay, but other than that, man, co-main event, this thing just, I don't know. I can't find anything I liked here. Yeah, Molly, you could play Molly by KO, but overall, I just hate this fight. So I laid off besides the parlay.
Yeah, I felt the same way. I was like willing to put it in a parlay, but Molly McCann at like minus 200 ish. That's like a tough ask. But at the same time, I do think she's getting like a layup here. The problem is Stoliarenko's fairly big. She's going to be pretty big compared to Molly McCann. Molly McCann's somewhat used to that. But yeah, minus 200 women's MMA is not usually a bet that you want to make. Worth throwing her in a parlay. I didn't really have anything else other than that. I do have the underdog play. Lower 75.5 significant strikes for Molly McCann, paired with minus 2.5 significant strikes for Penny Kianzad. That's 3x for a unit. They took that off like not even a couple hours after I put it out on my page. So it's like they I don't know what they got going on, but maybe they got my account looked at, or maybe I'm just sending that many people to these plays where they're just adjusted them so fast. But like, dude, it seems like every time I put a play out, it just
Yeah.
floods with they either just take it off or it gets adjusted like right away. So another option that I put on there was plus 17.5 significant strikes for Stolyarenko, because 17.5 is a lot. And Molly McCann, she hasn't covered that in many of her fights at all. And I don't think she's covered that in the past like 4 years. Even if she gets the finish, 17.5 is a lot of strikes. Stolyarenko could get the finish too. It's basically like taking lower, but just betting that Stolyarenko could keep up with her for the time being. So there's an option there, and it's in there, but we'll go over that later. Nathaniel Wood, Andre Feely. You got anything in this one?
I've got Nathaniel Wood in a parlay with Muradov at plus 109 for 3/4 of a unit. That's it, though. I mean, Wood should win this fight. I think he's the better fighter. He's probably more, he's more technical and tight with his striking. But, the money's all on Wood. He's only minus 200, and Feely can be dangerous. So I just wasn't super confident enough to lay the minus 200 on Wood here. And, as far as a prop, I mean, Nathaniel Wood goes to decision all the time. So I almost played it, but the odds weren't juicy enough. So just got him in this little two-legger.
Yeah, I just got him by decision, plus 110 for a half unit. I don't think he's going to knock him out because Feely, he really only gets knocked out by like some pretty heavy-handed guys like Gabrito, and you have to go all the way back to a head kick by Yair Rodriguez. So Nathaniel Wood hasn't had the big pop power that he could possess at 145. So I took him by decision. I think he outvolumes him and could mix in the wrestling there. Plus 110 for half unit. I'm willing to take it. Andre Muniz, Paul Craig. What do you got?
Nothing. I hate this fight too.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I didn't want to get invested too much, but I did think Craig inside the distance was worth a sprinkle at plus 275 for 0.4 units. Coming down a weight class. I'm interested to see how he looks, but no chance I'm taking Muniz. I see a lot of people on Muniz in this one at the chalk. I'm like, I don't know. I just watching his last performance, I just can't do it. Maybe he makes me a believer once again, but not this time. Not this time.
Craig's gonna be so strong too. Like if he had a good weight cut, and the way he just like even against Nikita Krylov, he threw that triangle up so fast.
Mm-hmm.
He's so fast, and once he has it in, he's so strong. Like you're not getting your arm out, you're not getting past him. I mean, he's strong as hell. Especially 185, he could be really strong.
Yeah, like the thing I like is he's always dangerous. So I mean, you can go to the third round, and he's still able to pull off that last second submission. So yeah, I like it. Jai Herbert, Faraz Ziam, the free play of the week. It's going to be Jai Herbert money line. I got him at plus 145 for a half unit. I didn't want to go too heavy on it, but I did think he was absolutely worth the price as a dog. I think this is a 50-50 fight. I think he gets it done probably by decision just based off of landing the better shots, could mix in the wrestling, and just overall better fight IQ at this point in his career. Very experienced and training with Leon Edwards. So at the dog, definitely worth it. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm the same way. I got a unit on him, plus 135. And his last performance, I thought he looked pretty good against Ludovic Klein. Klein's a good kickboxer, and he hung with him. He was winning the fight on the scorecards until he got the point taken. I don't think Ziam's going to be, better than Klein necessarily. A little bit younger, he's got that going for him. But overall, Jai, in front of his home crowd, I thought he fought phenomenally, feeding off the energy in his last fight. I think he's going to get it done here too, especially at an underdog price. I got to take another chance on him. I thought I had it in the bag his last fight. So
gotta. Lerone Murphy, Josh Kulabau. This is one that we're split on. You got Kulabau. Why are you taking him?
All right. The main reason I'm taking him is because 83% of the money is on Lerone Murphy, and like 76% of the bets. And the line, is pretty damn near pick 'em most places. So that just screams that Vegas is on Josh Kulabau. I had to be on that side too. I think he's pretty slick on the feet. He moves pretty well. I think Lerone Murphy in his last fight didn't look great. He looked good, but not great. Especially there was times when Gabriel Santos was giving him all he could handle. So I just think he's gonna, I don't know, maybe land the better exchanges. He might get hit a few times, And Leroy Murphy, when he hits, he does hit pretty hard. I just think Kulabau, when he puts those combinations together and rips the body, I think he could wear him down and hopefully edge this thing out. But I do think it's going to be extremely close.
Yeah, I got to go with Leroy Murphy. I got him by KO or decision -115 for a unit, just based off of, I think he's fought the better competition, just to be straight up. I mean, he was losing against Melsick, pulled it off. The split decision win to Songwoo Choi doesn't age the best. I think Choi's out of the UFC now, or somewhere near that. Shailen Nurdembeki, I don't think is that great. And then a draw to Charles Jourdain and a loss to Jalen Turner. So Leroy Murphy undefeated, and you're getting him at a decent price. I think he's worth a shot. Could it be a trap? Absolutely. It's also Leroy Murphy's birthday, so I don't know if that makes it a good thing or a bad thing.
He's gonna be nervous.
Yeah, -115. I gotta take him by KO or decision there. Davey Grant, Daniel Marcos. What do you got on this one?
Davey Grant season, baby. In front of the home crowd again. Plus 122, 1.5 units. I just like his experience here. He's tough. He's going to fight all 3 rounds no matter what. He's got the submission game if he needs it. And Daniel Marcos looked phenomenal, but it's against Simon Oliveira. And, the dude on the Contender Series, where he's a good kickboxer. He has really good kicks. But, he doesn't throw in like an abundance of combinations. He's just landing one big kick, backing out, landing a good shot. If he gets you hurt, he will pounce on you. But I think Davey Grant's just going to put the pressure on him and make him fight going backwards. And if he has to fight going backwards against Grant, it could be a long night for him and a tough fight. And I keep going back to the Davey Grant versus Josh Martinez, and Martinez reminds me a lot of Daniel Marcos. So, and Grant was able to knock him out. So I think Grant gets it done.
Yeah, I went with Davey Grant as well on the money line, plus 130 for a half unit. I think it's just too good of a price to pass up, like just based off of where Daniel Marcos has been valued. And then to beat the guys that he beat and then become a favorite over a guy like Davey Grant, who's fought, Adrian Yanez, Marlon Vera, Jonathan Martinez, and beat him, Jonathan Martinez.
I don't know why I said Joshua.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Kulabau. It was right under Josh was right under Davey Grant on here. So
Jonathan Martinez, but yeah, I just think he's being undervalued here and at home, and he hasn't fought in England in a while, so he's going to be pumped up. I just think he puts the pressure on Daniel Marcos, and he's got the submission ability as well. Like, people forget that, but Davey Grant, he's got a number of submissions on his record, 7 to be exact. You think of him as like a kickboxer type, and he's just going to be a dog on the feet. But if it hits the ground, could snatch something up. We haven't really seen much of Marcos on the ground, and just the level of competition for Marcos, I can't get behind it as a favorite going into this one. So I got to take him. I also took plus 7.5 significant strikes for Davey Grant because he has a pretty solid significant strike differential. It's like 4.78 compared to 3.89. And I think Daniel Marcos' significant strike differential is pretty inflated just based off of who he fought. His is at 6.01, and he absorbs 3.05. So they're taking that data, probably looking at that and making that line. But this is probably going to be a kickboxing battle. I think Davey Grant can keep up, and if it makes it to a third round, I think he can start to put it on him, and maybe take over and get a late finish possibly as well.
Yeah, speaking of round 3 there, I forgot I have Davey Grant to just win in the third round plus 1,600. So by sub or KO for 0.2 units. And like you said, man, I think if this fight goes into the third, Marcos hasn't been in the third with higher level competition. Davey Grant fights all 3 rounds. And like you said, he could put it on him, I think, if it goes late. So I love that play a lot, actually.
I like it. Danny Roberts, Johnny Parsons. I already talked about my under 2.5 in the parlay. That's all I got on that one. What do you got?
Yeah, man. Danny Roberts at home, a lot of experience compared to Parsons. So I had to go with him. It was near pick 'em. I got him minus 110 for 1.6 units, trying to win 1.5. And yeah, man, I think this is I think he could go out there and look like a bigger favorite than he is, or even find a finish here. So I had to hammer him.
Mark G. Casey, Joel Alvarez. What do you got on this one?
Nothing. I don't know, man. I feel like it's one of those things. Joel Alvarez at -200 or so should win, but we haven't really seen Jacasey put together a good game plan, and I think he probably is going to learn a lot from his last fight and could go out there and do it this one. So had to lay off. I hate the size difference too in him.
Yeah, here's the thing. I think Jacasey's getting a little undervalued in this spot just based off of his last performance because he was like a -330 favorite and he lost to Michael Johnson, who didn't look very good in this stage of his career. But I didn't have like too much faith going in on Jacasey because Yoel Alvarez is dangerous with those subs. And Jacasey, if he wants to win this fight, I think he's got to go to the wrestling and just make it boring because that's kind of how he wins. So I took him by decision plus 325, 0.4 units. I just think he has the ability to land those takedowns. And if he stays safe, he could just cruise to a decision win. Yoel Alvarez has never defended a takedown. So if it's there, Casey should be able to take it. Just stay safe, cover up your neck, and cruise to a decision win. Like he's been pretty respected by the books in the past. Like -240 against Alves, that's when he got guillotine choked. -175 against Rafael Fiziev, lost. Like he's been very respected by the books before. -175 to Dan Hooker, -250 to Jakar Close, -160 against Nazareth Hackpress. Like you get him at a plus money, I think that's a solid bet. Like he's got the talent. It's just about having the right game plan. At plus money, I think he's worth a shot. So I'll take him there. I also got him plus 9.5 significant strikes. Yoel Alvarez, obviously, if Jacasey's getting the takedowns, he's not going to be landing a ton of significant strikes. So that's kind of why I like it. But I also think Alvarez could sub him. Plus 9.5 significant strikes is not too big of an ask from Jacasey. He's got a solid strike differential. And Yoel Alvarez is going to be the longer guy, but he doesn't have a great significant strike differential. I mean, he's at the negative right now in his UFC career. So I think that's worth a shot. I got that paired up. So it's plus 9.5 significant strikes for Jacasey in the rival section, plus 7.5 significant strikes for Davey Grant in the rival section. Pair those two up, 3x for a unit there. And we'll keep her moving. Mick Park and Jamal Pogues. What do you got?
I'm all over Mick Parkin, plus 135 for 1 unit. It's more of just a fading Jamal Pogues. I mean, I haven't been impressed with Pogues. Yeah, he took Parisian down, but everybody takes Parisian down. Josh Parisian is like bottom feeder of the heavyweight division. Jamal Pogues isn't a natural heavyweight. You know, he's fought down at lower weight classes before. And I just think Mick Parkin's going to go out there and be stronger, hit harder, and, you know, in front of his home crowd. Why not take some of these London dogs, man? I like them a lot here.
Yeah, I took him inside the distance. Parkin inside the distance plus 200, 0.4 units. I didn't take him on the money line. I don't mind the money line price, but I do think if he wins, he probably gets it done inside the distance. Also, we haven't seen him pass like 2 rounds. So if his cardio is not good, then you're getting a little bit better value price for the finish prop. He's got all of his wins by finish. So plus 200 by finish there for Parkin. For me, I'm with you. I don't think Jamal Pogues should really be that big of a favorite in this spot. Brian Barberina, Mahmoud Muradov. We already went over the parlays. We got Muradov in, but you got anything else in this one?
Nope, nothing. That's it.
No. All right. I got higher than 49.5 significant strikes from Muradov. Brian Barberina is super easy to hit. He's gonna have a reach advantage. Muradov will, but Barberina is pretty tough, so I think he should be able to get over 49.5 significant strikes in that. If we just want to go over the 20x play on underdog, it is plus 9.5 sig strikes for Giacasey, plus 7.5 sig strikes for Davey Grant, plus 17.5 sig strikes for Stolyarenko, higher than 48.5 significant strikes for Lerone Murphy, and higher than 49.5 significant strikes for Mahmoud Muradov. It's 5 legs, 20x for 0.2 units on underdog. We hit that one, we're going to be looking pretty dang good. But we'll keep it moving. We got 4 fights left. Ketlin Vieira, Panny Kiansat. You got anything on this one?
I did lie. I had one more Muradov play in a parlay. I had Muradov inside the distance and Ketlin Vieta by decision plus 383 for half unit. I think Vieta does have a chance to just, use her weight, her strength, and just kind of control this fight. I don't think she's going to find a finish, but I do see her racking up some control time. And if it goes to decision, maybe she didn't let Panny get enough off to win the fight. So, and I think Muradov just at some point just breaks Brian Barberina, gets that finish.
I also lied. I had under 2.5 rounds for Mick Parkin, Jamal Pokes that I forgot to go over. That's minus 115 for a unit because I think Parkin can get the finish, but if he does gas out, Jamal Pokes could take over. I think Pokes got some decent cardio, so he could find a late finish, but I think Mick Parkin puts him away, so I took the under there. Back to Ketlin Vieira, Panny Kansas. I got Kansas by decision, plus 200 for 0.4 units. Thinking the opposite for you. I'm like, if it's going to go to a decision, I want the women's dog at plus 200. Yeah. I think Kansas could probably do the better work throughout the fight. And she's a European fighter, so she's probably going to have a little bit better of a crowd behind her. Plus 200, a fight that's like minus two or 300 to go to decision. All of her fights in the past, like ever for Panny Kansas, has gone to a decision. So if it goes there, I like plus 200 for her. Chris Duncan, Yanal Ash Moose. What do you got on that one?
I had to take a chance on Ash Moose. Plus 130 for 1 unit, just because, man, I've been super unimpressed by Chris Duncan. I don't know why. Everyone, people are really high on him coming onto the Contender Series, and he was cracked in that fight. In his debut against Omar Morales, he split decision over a guy who got cut right after by the UFC, and in that fight he kind of looked tired, worn down. And Ash Moose, kind of the full package. At least he showed that in the past. He can wrestle a little bit. He's obviously got power in the hands. So if he can just hurt Chris Duncan early, I think he leaves enough energy out there and enough skill to avoid those big shots from him and just kind of pick him apart and do what he wants with him. So yeah, give me the dog here for sure.
Yeah, if you're getting plus money on an undefeated fighter, it's never a bad thing. I just took him Ash Moose by KO or decision at plus 200, 0.4 units there. And then I also had a little sprinkle on him by round 1 KO at plus 800 for 0.1 units. I think Chris Duncan has gotten a way with not getting finished in his past couple fights because he took a couple bad ones from Omar and obviously had that wild fight on Contender Series that he ended up winning, but he was damn near knocked out before that. He's been knocked out before by Borshev. What I'm hearing, he's got hammers for fists. So if he can crack Chris Duncan, I think he can get him out of there. And I think the counter wrestling should be solid enough that he could win a decision as well. So I like that one. 2 more fights. Bruno Brazil, Shauna Bannon. I'm on Shauna Bannon this week, plus 140 for a half unit. I also sprinkled her inside the distance, plus 700 at 0.2 units. And her Mystic Mac prediction, I had to sprinkle on it. Round 2 KO, plus 3,300, 0.05 units. So just a very small sprinkle there. But I do think just undefeated fighter again at plus money. But the kickboxing, I think she'll be able to stay up to beat with the kickboxing of Bruno Brazil. I think she can use some strength and get the takedowns as well. But I do think she just look at the buzz around her. Like, they're promoting her like she's already the star in the UFC. She hasn't even made her UFC debut. At plus money, I'm willing to take a chance that, they have plans for this girl moving forward. Obviously, all the UFC knows Conor McGregor. Everyone in the world knows Conor McGregor. And her being from Ireland automatically puts her in the spot to be lumped in with Conor McGregor. They want her to win. I think they want her to win. At plus 140, absolutely worth a shot. Bruno Brazil, she's been finished 3 times in her career. It's worth a spot for me. So that's what I got. What about you?
Yeah, I don't know. The way I saw Bannon in the tape is like she's a good kickboxer, but she fights like with the trying to outpoint you style kickboxing. And so I don't think she's going to find a knockout necessarily. And Bruno Brazil, she's been on the big stage already once and obviously got knocked out by Denise Gomes, but that's Denise Gomes. I don't think Bannon is that caliber of a power puncher or striker. And I don't know, man. Something's just screaming that Bruno Brazil is going to upset this little party going on for Shauna Bannon. I want to say O'Bannon every time. But in the tape, man, I just didn't see enough to take her for her debut as a dog. Maybe I'll be completely wrong though. So, but I got Bruno Brazil minus 140 plus 1.4 units. That's all I got though. Actually, no, I lied. I got Bannon by decision as a little hedge bet at plus 195 for a half unit.
First fight of the night, Jafel Filio, Daniel Barres. What do you got on that one?
Yeah, I'm on Daniel Barres. I mean, everybody's kind of high on Jafel Filio just because he hung in there with Makayev and had him in that knee bar. But watch the rest of the fight, man. He was just getting dominated, really. I mean, he wasn't really winning much of that fight until that one sliver of a moment where he almost got him out of there in a knee bar. So, and Barres, he's a pretty well-rounded fighter. If you watch the tape, he's got a lot of subs on his record. He's a strong guy. He's pretty damn fast too on the feet. And I think if he can just get in past that first round with Fio, I think he's going to have the better gas tank too. I've seen him in some fights on the regional scene where it's later in the fight and he does still look like he's got a lot of energy. So yeah, I just think he overall and all around in this fight should be a little bit better than Rafael Fio.
Yeah, I'm on the Barres side as well, but I got him inside the distance only at plus 240 for 0.4 units. And I also got him by round 1 KO at plus 1,200 for 0.1 units because those last 4 fights, he's got a first round KO in all of them. So
Yeah.
I think it's worth a little sprinkle at plus 1,200. The level of competition, definitely not the same, but he could come out. He always comes out hot and he always comes out swinging. I'm expecting him to do that in this one. So I also got the fight doesn't go the distance in this fight, minus 135 for 1.35 units. That is actually the biggest straight play I got. And I think with how these guys fight, Daniel Barres, very aggressive early. The only times he's been finished was when he got submitted. Jafel Filio, we just saw him almost shred a knee. And I think he could sub Daniel Barres if it does come to that. But I do think he could also get knocked out by Daniel Barres because those hands are not something to be messed with. Barres got his finishing ability on the ground as well. So these are flyweights, man. I think somebody gets finished, and the fight to not go the distance at that price, way too good for me to lay off. So, yeah, that's all the bets. 15 of them tomorrow. We're looking for a good day, looking for a good Saturday afternoon.
Oh yeah,
the Double Leg Premium. Appreciate you guys for all the support, and if you're following us this weekend or if you're tailing us this weekend. Hopefully we give you some good bets and good luck. If you're watching this after, hopefully we hit some good bets. And we will recap it in the video after this. Other than that, got anything you want to say to the members?
Long day of fights tomorrow. A lot of money to be made. Let's get it.
I'm surprised we didn't get any pullouts. 15. Hopefully
I know.
they can all stay. But yeah.
It's been a while since we've had 15.
Hey, yeah, I don't even remember the last time we had 15, but yeah, long day. Hopefully we can make it a good one. Appreciate you guys. Till next time, the Double Leg signing out.